What's up, guys? Welcome to B Sports Picks. So we were on a 7-0 run, and then that came to an end yesterday. The Suns actually defeated the Pistons. They shat the bed. I'm going to explain why I think that happened. But more importantly, the streaks are nice to have. I said this yesterday. I've said that a couple of days, that the streaks are very nice to have. But what's more important is actually being consistent and winning overall, not just the hot streaks, okay? I'm going to show you something on my channel that's very important. But then I'm also going to give you a very strong play in the NBA that I really like today. A lot of the plays today are going to be considered on the under because a lot of the teams are on the back-to-back, and there's a lot of injuries. I'm going to show you all that, and then I'm going to give you the two best plays that I like into one parlay. So again, guys, the 7-1 run was actually all in the free picks. If you don't believe me, go check out all the videos. I'm going to actually show you that very quickly, and then I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to show you something in the channel that's been happening this entire month that's been great. I really do appreciate you guys that are commenting and liking. Yesterday we had over 100 likes. I think that's the first time I've crossed 100 likes in a video, so I really do appreciate that. Also, if you comment, that helps the video get pushed out. If you appreciate what I do for you guys, I would really appreciate if you can comment and like and also share this channel. We crossed 35. We're about to cross 3,500 subscribers. Let's get to 4,000. So I'm going to give you guys a play very strongly, but let me quickly glance over what happened yesterday. This is very important, actually. The reason I go back and show the slips is because whenever you win or lose, you still have to go back and put it into a bet tracker. And more importantly, you have to realize what happened. If you don't understand what's happening while you're losing, then you're not growing. But anyways, let me get down to it right here. I took the Brooklyn Nets and the Nuggets. I told you guys to go with the under 221. They ended up scoring 109. So it was not even close. They ended up winning by 12 points on the under. We ended up winning around 11 points on the under. Now, this is what I mean by understanding what happened, okay? It looks like a damn blowout, which it is. It's actually 18 points. They got blown out, which is crazy because, I mean, the Pistons were all over. I gave all the reasoning why they should win. These guys were without Booker, things like that. So one thing that did stand out dramatically was I realized later is that the Suns, I did mention this, the line was shifting in their favor very slightly. It was too slight for me to even pay attention. But what I didn't realize is that the money and the bets were coming in very heavily on the Suns, and the line was shifting in their favor. So it was a reverse line move, even though it was very slight. Now, one other side note that you cannot compensate for is that this dude went off. Now, I mean, in the last 15 games, this dude wasn't nowhere near the 40 points that he hit yesterday. This dude, he just went off, and they just could not stop him. So he scored 40 points yesterday, and that's one of the major reasons why they got blown out. Now, very importantly, in this game, you have to stay humble. You cannot think that these streaks and these wins are going to go on forever. I even said that yesterday. I said the streaks are nice, and obviously it's going to come to an end, and it came to an end. You have to stay humble. You cannot think that you're smarter than everybody. You cannot think you're going to win forever. It's impossible. Even for me, the best players in the game are hitting at around a 53% hit rate. This month has been a lot higher for us. It's been around 64%, which is a lot higher than normal. But again, that means that you have to lose about 38% of your bets to stay around 60-ish. Now, to kind of show what I'm talking about, this shit yesterday, I had the 76ers to win by 3. They ended up winning by 2. So just that kind of stuff is very frustrating, but it is what it is. You have to push forward. So overall, it was a losing day. And again, it was because that dude went off. They were at home. They had a nice spread on the Suns. And then these guys lost by 3 points they ended up winning by 2 points instead of 3. All right, let's get into the plays. So the first thing that I like to look at is the back-to-back. I say this every day. So these are all the games that went on yesterday that match the teams that played today. So all of these teams played today. And what this means is that these guys, the Los Angeles Lakers, have a one-day advantage. Boston has a one-day advantage. Cleveland has a one-day advantage. Clippers have a one-day advantage. Utah has a one-day advantage. And Golden State has a one-day advantage. Like I said, Detroit played yesterday. That means Golden State has a one-day rest advantage. So this is important to know. They're already on a back-to-back. That's, 6 out of the 7 games are on back-to-back. So that's already looking on the unders, just to start off. Next thing I like to look at is the tool called Sharp Edge. If you don't have access to this, you can get 2 weeks for free. Go to the link in the description, click on where it says Sharp Edge tool, and you can get this tool for free for 2 weeks. Anyways, what I like, this is the line move tool which is inside the sharp edge. Now, what's important here is it gives, I'm not going to go through all of this, but if you want to take screenshots, that's fine. But for example, it tells you where the line is shifting. And what that means is that where the books are going. I'm not going to get too deep into this at this moment here, but just see that all of these say they're nuclear picks because these have moved over 3 points. This one moved 4 points. This one moved almost 10 points. This one moved over 9 points. This one moved 17 points. Now, this is dramatic. I have never, ever since I've been doing this, I don't think I've ever seen an NBA game move 17 points. I've seen it in college. I've never seen it in the NBA. And what this means, basically, they started at a 226 and they went all the way down to a 209. So obviously, like I said, they're on a back-to-back. There has to be a lot of injuries. They might have traveled, things like that. Nuggets played yesterday. So there's a lot of reasoning why this game is going on the under. Now, another one, this one's going down too. You can see it's 229 going to a 223. Like I mentioned, I'm not going to go into all these details, but this is a good, very clear indication on what you should be looking at. And then these are just strong plays that you should be looking at, and then additional leans because of all the back-to-back and because of all the injuries. Now, once we look through that, you start getting a picture of what's going on. Then you start looking at the lines of what the books are doing. Then you start going into, you can go into the dashboard and it tells you who's supposed to be winning these games. These are projected scores. So for example, Lakers are supposed to win. Magic is supposed to win. Boston is supposed to win. The Knicks is supposed to win. Pelicans are supposed to win. Cavaliers are supposed to win. Clippers are supposed to win. Jazz is supposed to win. And then this is very close game. Too close to call. All right, so let's get into it. This is the first leg that I'm going to be looking at. It's going to be the Cavaliers versus the Suns. Like I mentioned, the Suns played yesterday. They're already tired, okay? Just even though they stayed at home, you have to understand that when they play back-to-back, they have tired legs. So now if we do the math here very quickly, this is 224, okay? The line started at 230. It went all the way down to 221. What this means is that it moved almost 10 points. Now, like I showed yesterday, the Suns were hitting at less than a 30% hit rate. And because they won yesterday, they went over a 30% hit rate. So these dudes are just not good when they're as underdogs. Now, if we go over here, you look at Cleveland, they've gone 70% of the time on the under. In the last 20 games, they've gone 14-6 on the under. Now, this is very important. Now we look at the injury report. Garland is out. Mobley is out. Strus, I think he's been out for a couple of weeks. And then you got over here, Booker is still out. I think he's going to be out for about a week. So you got a bunch of injuries. These guys played yesterday, and then the line moved 9 points on the under. Not only that, but 70% of the games that Cleveland plays in the last 20 games have gone on the under. And again, here's a little bit of a better picture there. It started at 230, went down to 221, 9 points. So that's going to be the first leg. I'm going to give you the exact line. Let me explain the next play, and then I'm going to give you the slip so you can see exactly what I'm playing. So the first leg is going to be the under on the Cleveland and the Suns game. Let me just give you a quick few more points, and then I'll move on to the second play. So again, the line dropped from 230 to 221. That's a 9-point line move. All the injuries I showed you, especially with Booker and Mobley, and also, what's his name? And also they're missing Garland. So Garland alone scores about 25 points. So just overall, on those three players that I mentioned, that's about 60 points that have come off the board. That's why the line dropped 9 points. And then lastly, like I said, 70% of the games for Cleveland have gone on the under in the last 20 games. All right, guys, before I give you the second play, please subscribe. Take a second to do that now. Just take that extra second, press subscribe, and click the little notification bell. Also, check out the free picks. I saw this yesterday, blew my mind. 55% of the people that watch my videos, 55% are not even subscribed. Only 44% of the people that watch the videos are subscribed. Please take that extra second to subscribe. Make sure you like and comment as well. Also, if you want to get into the bigger levels like us, go to the VIP pass, 1-day pass, 1-week pass, 1-month pass. Make sure you check that out. Also, this is where the Sharp Edge tool is at. Just like I mentioned, you get 2 weeks for free on that. And if you want to start learning from us, like how we do this every single day and how this is, professionals think, I did a whole thing on the school community. You can do that here, learn from us. All right, so for the second leg of this, I'm going to be looking at the Trailblazers and the Knicks. 112 to 118, that's actually 230. You can see the line actually started at 230, went all the way down to 225. So that's less of a line move than the other game, but it did move 5 points. Now, 68% of the bets, 60% of the money is coming in on the over. So again, this is a reverse line move, just like the other game. Now, if we look over here, this is ridiculous. In the last 13 games, 12 of those games have gone on the under for the Trailblazers whenever they start as underdogs. So 92% hit rate on the under for Trailblazers. Now, if we look over here, this looks like a damn hospital ward. Check this out. This dude, Avija, and then Scoot Henderson is out. He's their top shooter. And then this guy's questionable. So if this guy plays, it might go up a little bit, but I don't think it's going to make too much of a big difference. Also, it shows gray. What that means is that it's unconfirmed yet. So there is a bunch of injuries over here. These guys are also injured, but not as bad as these guys over here. Also, one very important note is that Portland has been averaging 101 points. That's 101 points in the last 3 games average. Now, on opposite side, the New York Knicks have been suffocating the offenses of the other teams. They've been holding teams to 96 points on average. So you put that together. This is 101 average points scored. These guys hold the teams down to about 96 points on average. Then you add all these injuries and the line is dropping. So one final note on this is that, like I said, the defense has been excellent for the Knicks. Recently, they've been keeping scores to about 96. Portland has been struggling. They only score about 101 points per game. They have Scoot Henderson is out and the line is dropping. Not only that, but Portland has gone on the under 92% of the time in the last, 14 games or something like that. All right, guys, so here's the play. I'm going to go with the under 233.5 for the Cavaliers and the Suns. And then I'm going to go with the Trailblazers and the Knicks on the under 236.5. If you parlay both of those together, you should be able to find odds right around this area of minus 140. Now, one final thing I'm going to mention is that we have been dominating the hell out of the books. Look at this, 7-0, that was yesterday, 6-0, and obviously that went down, okay? But then we actually went and did a 3-0 sweep over here. This one hit as well. And then before that was a 2-0 run. And then over here was a 20-3 run. And basically we went on a 15-0 run over here. Then we started losing a little bit. So basically, went to a 15-0 run. Then we started losing a little bit, and then this one hit, this one hit, this one hit, and so on. And then we hit right around 20-3, and then we started. We did a reboot. Then this one won. We went a 3-0 sweep, and then all of a sudden we started going back up 4-0, 6-0, 7-0. So overall, I'm not showing you that to brag. I'm just letting you know that we've been crushing the hell out of the free picks for sure. So if you haven't done so, please make sure you subscribe. Also, please make sure you comment if you appreciate these plays. I really thank everyone again for getting us to 3,500 subscribers. Let's get to 4,000. Thank you so much. Let's have a great day. All right, guys. So here's the play. I'm going to go with the under 233.5 for the Cavaliers and the Suns. And then I'm going to go with the Trailblazers and the Knicks on the under 236.5. If you parlay both of those together, you should be able to find odds right around this area of minus 140.